Hey, everyone. It is your girl Kiki, and I am back with another video. Um, the bug has definitely been going around. Um, of me and a few of my family members are actually sick, so I know I sound stuffy. I apologize for that. But you guys, we are on the countdown to 500 subscribers. Thank you, everyone that has been subscribing, liking, commenting. If you shared, I appreciate you. So, tonight I want to do the movie Their Eyes Were Watching God. Tonight I want to cover this movie because it's been a while since I've seen it. I was first introduced to the movie by my mother some years ago, but it's a classic, and I just thought of it and I said, you know what? Let me cover this one. Their Eyes Were Watching God is a novel written by Neil Hurston in 1937. In 2005, the novel turned into a movie starring Halle Berry as Janie. In this film, Janie starts off as a 17-year-old girl full of energy, longing to be free and explore life. Janie has been raised by her grandmother, whom she refers to as Nanny, and seems to have been pretty sheltered. Her grandmother wants her to school off, but since she doesn't think she's interested in school, she'd rather marry her off so that she can have a fair chance at life. Okay, so I know this movie is based in like the 1920s, but I still think it's disgusting, honestly, to marry off your 17-year-old granddaughter to some old man. However, Janie cried and went on to marry Logan Killix. You could tell that Logan didn't want anything more with Janie other than a companion and someone there with him and to help him with his acres of land that would, of course, be hers once he passes away. Janie wasn't that impressed and still wanted out. It's like she was trapped in a life that she was miserable with and just wanted to be free, and she was searching for her happiness. When Janie ran off with Joe Starks and married him, she was in love. She was excited to build a town with her husband and be by his side every step of the way. The problem was Joe was insecure, jealous, and controlling. Janie was very beautiful and she was admired by people in her town. He didn't like her being herself, wearing her long hair down, laughing, and just having fun with their friends. He eventually became mean and arrogant and made her start putting her hair up. Once Joe became mean and hateful and slapped Janie, she was hurt and felt locked up and just unhappy once again. He wanted her to put her hair up because back in those days, it was like putting your hair up was like kind of like it would make you less attractive. As years and years passes by, Janie and Joe live separately across the street from one another. Joe Starks becomes ill and eventually passes away. Although everyone else was sad in the town, and Joe had done many great works and things for their town, Janie felt free for the first time in her life. She immediately let her hair down and began living life as freely as she liked. Truth be told, it's unrealistic to expect Janie to be any different than she was. I mean, she was a 17-year-old girl. She started off with Joe at just such a young and fragile age. Unfortunately, back then, girls were expected to behave like grown women. Well, I would say especially black women. When Janie met T. Cake, played by Michael Ealy, she was immediately attracted to his nice smile and charming words. T. Cake was a little younger than her, and he had like the same free spirit as hers, which really drew her into him. I'll just say this. Nothing about Janie and T. Cake relationship gave off romantic or anything to me. I personally felt like he was a young, smooth talker that may have cared for her, but I don't think that they would have ended up staying together had he not died. T. Cake literally stole Janie's money and gambled it away after having sex with her. Not sure why they decided to put that in the movie, but to me, after that, she should have been done with him. He had no money, and he knew she did. Once TK got sick because of the rabies bite by the dog, it was really sad. I know having to unalive the love of your life in defense for yourself is one of the hardest things someone would have to do. But the reality is, he was very sick and his mind was gone. He would have unalived her if she didn't shoot him first. The last thing I want to talk about is when Janie went back to her hometown after what happened with Tea Cake. I just didn't like how the one female friend was upset with her and depended so much on her because of course she was like the first lady of the town, being that she was the wife and now widow of Joe Starks. People needed to think about her and the fact that she went through a lot and she was human also that needed people to lean on. I feel like the town just leaned on her too much and just expected too much of her. They thought they knew her and was upset with her behavior and how she ran off with Tea Cake. But Janie had to let her know that, that's not the Janie she ever was. The Janie that y'all thought y'all knew that was with Joe Starks, that was never the real Janie. She had to pretend and, hide who she was. They only knew the Janie that Joe allowed to be seen. They wasn't it wasn't the free spirited Janie that she really was. And I just think that I wish that people would have, when they realized that, would have just been a little bit more accepting of that. Was specifically the one female friend. I do think they loved her. I do think they cared about her. But she was so young when she started off with Joe Starks. And she had not really lived. And she was always a free spirit. I think the reason why the movie is named Their Eyes Were Watching God. Now I will say this. I don't really understand why the movie was titled Their Eyes Were Watching God. Because I feel like it was a personal thing. It was about Janie watching God. But I feel like what that means is, in the beginning of the movie when they showed her swimming in the lake and her grandmother asked her what she was doing and she said, "I'm watching God." I feel like that just means kind of like maybe being one with God or having kind of like maybe a close, intimate connection or moment with God. I'm thinking that's what that means. But I think that is very beautiful, actually, watching God. So anyway, that's it for this movie review, commentary. Please like, share, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And like I said, we're on the road to 500. And until next time, bye.